What's happening, dogs? Mr. Allen here with some imaginary numbers. Who doesn't love imaginary numbers? You barely grasp the real numbers, and now we're throwing imaginary. It's great. It's fantastic. It's fantastic. All right, let's perform the indicated operation. One nice thing about imaginary numbers is you can pretty much work with them as you would any variable, right? The only difference is that I'm going to jot this down, is that when we get I squared, that's going to equal -1. That's really the only difference when we're doing operations with them, okay? So let's keep that in mind. If that comes up, we'll deal with it, okay? So here I have subtraction between these two parentheses here. So there's nothing to be done here. If I had a number out here, I would distribute it, but I don't. So I can just write 3 minus 4i. Then I distribute this negative in, and I get a -2 plus 5i. Beautiful. All right. Now I can combine like terms, just as I would in the real world, right? In the real math world, I'm going to take 2 minus 3, that's going to give me 1. -4i plus 5i, that's going to give me +1i. Or let's just say 1 plus I. That's it. Write the real number first, the imaginary number second, right? It's always of the form a plus bi, if it's going to be a complex or, imaginary number here, right? We have our real component, we have our imaginary component. Complex is everything, including the real numbers. All right, over to this one here. So I've got 6i minus 3 times 2 plus I. I cannot do anything here. They're not even like terms. But there's multiplication between the -3 and the parentheses. So I have to perform the multiplication first. Here I'm going to get 6i minus, let's see here, -3 times 2 is -6 minus 3i. Cool. And now I can combine like terms. But let's write our real number first, which is just the -6. And we get 6i and -3i gives me +3i. There we go. Boom. Two of them down. Two of them down. No big deal. No big deal. Now we got multiplication, okay? So just like if you had x's or a's or b's or y's, whatever, I'm going to FOIL or distribute. I got 3 times 1 is 3. 3 times -2i is -6i. 4 times 1 is +4i. And then 4i times -2i is -8i squared. Ooh, our first encounter with the I squared. So let's rewrite this. We got 3. We can combine these two, which is going to give me -2i. But then I have -8 times -1, which means I got 3 minus 2i plus 8. 3 plus 8 gives me 11 minus 2i. Dunzo. All right. Very nice. Now, once you get more comfortable with this, you may decide like, oh, I see -8i squared. I'm just going to change that to +8 because I know it's -8 times -1 is +8. And you don't have to write down every single step like I did, but I want to show you guys the full thing there so you hopefully wouldn't get lost. All right. Next move. Are we ready? 5 plus 2i quantity squared. Now, everybody wants to do this. Distribute the squared in, make it 25 plus 4i squared. No. Incorrect, okay? I can't distribute an exponent into a binomial or trinomial or whatever. Only into monomials, right? If it's one term. But once I got addition or subtraction going on there, I cannot just distribute it, okay? What we could do is, I'm just going to ignore that guy there and rewrite it, right? I'm going to scribble it out, rewrite it next to it, and oh my goodness, did I just transform this problem here that I wasn't sure what to do into a problem I literally just did? Yes. So now I'm going to have 5 times 5 is 25. 5 times 2i is +10i. 2i times 5 is going to give me +10i. And then 2i times 2i is +4i squared. Bippity boppity. Nice. So let's continue on, right? We got 25. We got plus 20i. 10 plus 10 is 20. And, oh wait, I squared is -1. We can kind of deal with it like we did here or save a step. I'm going to make this -4 now. And lastly, we got ourselves 21 plus 20i. Real number goes first. Imaginary goes second. A plus bi is key there. Some teachers may take off like a half point if you do switch that. Just kind of depends on what level of mathematics you're in and things like that. But there we go, guys. Some basic operations with imaginary numbers. Really just working with them at this point. Not really applying them or anything like that. But getting used to the imaginary numbers and how to deal with them algebraically. There we go. That's a voice crack. I'm leaving it in. I don't care. But I hope you guys care enough to hit the subscribe button. Yeah, I'm doing YouTube things now. All right. Peace out.